Keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the boat at all times. Parents, please surprise your children so that our journey doesn't take any unexpected turns. Now, most people travel to enchanted worlds through the pages of a storybook. Whether traveling down a rabbit hole or using pixie dust, they often find their way in quite magical, or in this case, even menacing. But don't worry, folks, so it looks like we're entering through the jaws of Monstro the whale, the very same whale that swallowed Pinocchio. We're really being transported into a magical place called Storybook Land. But like all good stories, our story begins with a once upon a time there lived a big bad wolf who lives in his cave, who always wanted to chase after those three little pigs. But don't worry, folks, they live across the way and they live in three little miniature houses. One made out of straw, one made out of sticks, and one made out of 100% guaranteed wolf bricks. Now our journey's about to take a strange turn. We're just around the riverbed. Coming up to the left-hand side lies the quaint English village home to Alice. For one golden afternoon, Alice followed the white rabbit down the rabbit hole, and she fell down, down, down into Wonderland, where things only became curiouser and curiouser from there. In fact, Storybook Land is filled with such fantastic places like London Park, which is off to our right. This is where Peter Pan, Michael, Wendy, and John Darling first flew to Neverland with the help of Tinkerbell's pixie dust, where they would never, ever have to grow up. Now you have places like Agrabah, city of mystery and enchantment, where a street rat named Aladdin first bumped into Princess Jasmine in the marketplace and stole her heart. And though the two were from two different worlds, with the power of love and the help of a genie, they were happily married inside the Sultan's palace. Now these magical places is where love blooms forever, just like the rose-covered archways just above us. These are the very same archways that Aladdin and Jasmine first took on their magic carpet ride as they flew over, sideways, and even under to a whole new world. And while all good stories are filled with love and light, they also have their dark places as well. Places like the Cave of Wonders just ahead. Its treasure bears a curse that can only be lifted by the power of the Genie of the Lamp. Now legend has it that whoever sets the genie free will be granted 3 wishes. Now let's all make a wish and see if it comes true. Now Snow White wished for a safe place when she fled from the evil queen and stumbled upon a cozy forest cottage which is home to the 7 dwarves on the right. They offered her shelter in thanks of her kindness, and you can even hear them whistle while they work inside their jewel mine where they're mining their own business. Cinderella wished to go to the ball, but her wicked stepmother forbade who lives that blue chateau off to the left. Her fairy godmother granted that wish, but when Cinderella did leave by the stroke of midnight, her coach turned back into a pumpkin, which you can still see right up on that little miniature bridge, right up against the hillside. And though magic has its limits, thankfully love does not. Now Cinderella lives happily with her prince inside that pink and gold castle atop of that hill. Now dreams can come true like wishes, they inspire our stories here. Whether dreaming of living happily ever after, or dreaming of drifting off to sleep on hills of quilted flowers like the ones to the left-hand side, which was inspired by the 1933 Silly Symphony cartoon, Lullaby Land, which was way before my time. So you might be asking to yourself, well, David, are all these trees and plants real? Well, the simple answer is yes, they are real. The second question might be, well, how come these trees over here are so small and those trees over there are so tall? Well, it's because of Tinkerbell. She usually flies here every night after the park closes and sprinkles a little bit of pixie dust on all the trees and plants and flowers you see here throughout Storybook Land. So that way, these plants never ever have to grow up. Now we have stories like The Wind in the Willows, where Mole, Rat, and Mr. Toad live in their stately manor just ahead. Unfortunately, folks, J. Thaddeus Toad isn't home right now as he's off on his motor car on a wild ride to nowhere in particular. Beyond that is the Kingdom of Arendelle, the castle on the bay, and Queen Elsa's castle rising above the snow-covered mountains. 2 sisters, Anna and Elsa, with their friends Olaf, Sven, and Kristoff, found sleep more powerful than Elsa's magic, the power of true sisterly love. While the Alpine village of Woodcarver named Geppetto wished upon a star that his puppet would become a real live boy. After Pinocchio saved him from the belly of Monstro the whale, the Blue Fairy very much indeed granted him that wish. Geppetto's wish is like those found in so many classic fairy tale stories like the wonderful little mermaid named Ariel. Ready to follow Prince Eric to his castle, she had to give up her life under the sea, take her first steps on unsteady legs, and eventually became a part of our world. But have a seat, guys. Have a seat. Have a seat, guys. And hers is the story that begins with the sorrow of her father, King trying to live in the underwater city of Atlantica, which still had her adventures. Like gold and adventures, they all lived with a happily ever after. As we close the final page of our storybook, I'd like to ask everyone to please remain seated. Keep your hands, arms, and fingers inside the boat until the boat has come to a full and complete stop at the dock. We hope that you continue to enjoy the rest of your visit with us here at Disneyland. The end.